Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. First and foremost, Happy New Year's everyone. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic and lovely day. Now, if you guys are kind of curious too as well, we've had some pretty intriguing news when it comes to the PlayStation 5, where we've now been seeing kind of, I guess, the next big chapter when it comes to the big PlayStation 5 Pro issues known as like the shimmering, where essentially a lot of games have this like weird, like kind of pixelated, like a lot of like white splotches, bugs, graphical issues, where everyone, and I mean everyone, was pretty skeptical on if it's gonna be good, if the Pssr technology was actually worthwhile, and just like basically a lot of people kind of assuming the PS5 Pro is not necessarily doing the best. And right now we actually had a chance to go and touch on this a little bit on a prior video where we had a chance to go talk about like how like some of the people like in Call of Duty were having a chance to work on it. They were actually seeing solutions, and I do want to say overall it's actually a good vibe because it does actually seem like a lot of these big companies such as like the EAs or Activision's, Xbox's technically, and of course obviously the PlayStation users themselves will have a chance to go and see like this future of the PS5 Pssr technology actually working well, and of course updating everything. So I want to go talk about the fact that it seems like we have some fixes in place, that a lot of companies are still working on it, and of course just I think overall some pretty good news. And as well, Happy New Year to all of you guys. I hope everyone watching this video as of today will have a fantastic 2025. If you guys don't know, we're going to go on a little bit of a mini YouTube break. We will still be uploading videos just a bit more sporadically. We're going to get back in the groove once we have our proper editor all on rolling, and we'll probably have a video maybe tomorrow giving a little bit of a quick update talking about like what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and all the good stuff. But I hope you guys are all excited. Like this is all good news because we're taking a little mini break to basically go make a lot better and cooler videos and more edited videos and all this stuff for all of you guys. So I really do hope you guys are going to be excited for you guys. I've seen a lot of feedback, comments, and all that. I'm going to put a lot of stuff that I've had throughout the years now to make my channel just a little bit more me, a little bit more special. So I hope you guys don't mind that, and I hope you guys are excited because I'm very hyped up for 2025. So if you guys are, subscribe if you guys are new and put on the notifications so you guys don't miss a video, especially as I'm a little bit of like a weird, like we may take 1 or 2 days off every now and then or whatever might go and happen throughout these next few days. We will be on the back of the swing no matter what. Of course, subscribe here, second YouTube account, and of course the Twitters and the Twitch as well, and all the affiliate links down below, and let's dive into the video. So we actually touched on this as of yesterday. We had a chance to go and see where basically we saw that Call of Duty was having a really big PlayStation 5 Pro upgrades. They're really substantial. And we had like a chance to kind of paraphrase some of these things. Basically talk about the fact that like some of these big updates were, well, good. They had a more consistent 60 FPS mode where they had a chance to improve graphics and shadows and resolutions. And as well, they also just had a chance to utilize the Pssr technology and all around good stuff. But one big issue that we've seen everywhere has always been this shimmering issue. Now I'm going to go and highlight this a few times in case you just haven't a chance to go and see it. But a good example is if you guys watch the video, and you guys can probably see pretty obviously, if you're looking at like different types of shadows or walls or rooms or whatever, basically the AI just never knew what to do to go and make the game look good. Like a good example is if you guys look and say like there's so much, and this is like probably the perfect example for it. If you look throughout the character, I'm sure you guys have seen, as you go through this room, look at all the textures on these doors or backgrounds, even just on this pause screen right now, like you see all these random little white dots. And the idea behind this has always been, as I've explained in prior videos, is it's essentially the AI. It's the PlayStation Pssr that's basically trying to go and copy paste every bit. Like you see how there's like a brown, red cedar wood. They're trying to copy paste, like every of these like little squares, like a square, if you guys can pick it up on my mouse. And they want to go and copy paste this to go and represent basically the game itself to make all these textures load faster and be less, like basically not being utilizing the GPU as hard as they possibly can. You can see in the hair, you can see in the overall details, and I'm sure you guys can see as I kind of play out throughout the video, like right here, like this is not realistic. But due to the fact that they have like shadows, they're essentially, from what I've kind of noticed, is that they'll try to go pick up these random maybe like ray traced shadows or color schemes or whatever, like the reflectatories, let's say, from these bottles, and then the AI doesn't know where and how to go and replace these little random like specks on the actual game itself, and they're everywhere. Like you can see some of these pottery over here on the left side, on this pillar, on the wall, on every one of these cups, all these alcohol bottles, even in the hair itself. Like it's just a really big bothersome issue, and this was a big deterrent for a lot of folks out there getting their PlayStation 5 Pros. Like even, I mean, the fact this guy's just randomly sitting around for God knows why, but you even look like this character's model, like her shirt has like these random pixels. Look at the hair. It looks like you can kind of just see it's not going well. It just really was a genuinely bad issue. The Pssr technology was not working well, and if you're playing the game, you're going to notice this, and that's what a lot of people did. That was like probably the biggest issue so far when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro. And we had a chance to go and talk about this because it was on Silent Hill. We brought up in other various games, and even the game itself. I'll do one more quick recap. You guys have probably seen this video, basically for even Black Ops, like the game we're going to be talking about over here in a second. Still has all the shimmering issues. Look at these walls, look at all the details. This is not meant to be in the real game. This is the AI itself kind of going wonky and messing that up. And a lot of people were very skeptical. A lot of people said they didn't want to go buy a PS5 Pro just because of this. And I'm not going to blame anyone for it, like I understand. But we had a chance to touch on this in a separate video. Talk about the fact that although we had like some cool stuff with like the PS5 Pro having cool upscalers and having a chance to use different types of AI and utilizing the PSSR in general, the biggest thing is that we want to go and know the fix for this. And I did touch on this in the prior video, so you guys don't mind the double recap, but I feel like it's a good topic nonetheless. Is saying, speaking to Michael Dobrop, who is the guy who's kind of like the big brains behind like the PlayStation PSSR upgrade for the Pro, Black Ops 6, and everything else. He says that there is a fix is already in the pipeline for these PSSR artifacts, like what I just showed you guys over here. One that should roll out soon once the relevant patch passes through the QA. We touched on this in the prior video, but basically saying that there is good options for this to be worked on, and that there's a chance for this to be just normal. Like we just know, like people know it's an issue. Like if you're EA, you're Ubisoft, you're Activision, and you see these people make these videos or tweets or comments, Reddit posts or articles, YouTube videos, whatever it might be, people know this has been a problem. We also already had other official tweets, such as, like, say, from Silent Hill, being like, hey, we are going to fix on this. There have been a few patches with it where it does kind of seem like it seems nice. Well, even has a good example. So, like, when the patch fixes over here, where apparently, like, there is still, like, a little bit of awkward shimmer. Like, you can kind of see a little bit of this, but it's more so, like, realistic. Like, it's actual, like they're trying to just more so actually have like a reflectatory on like puddles and stuff. It looks way better, looks way nicer. I'll play it one more time, but like you can see like they're trying, like there's a little maybe awkward bits like underneath the car or the water, but compared to how it was before with like little like white specks everywhere, it is way of a better vibe. So we're just kind of seeing once again confirmation from these big game devs that they're approving this, saying over here that they have to go through QA, but it is there. And it says the cause, it turns out, is simply down to the PSSR not being fine-tuned, basically kind of maybe even blaming what PlayStation is putting out there for denoising the image in its current state. The team's own TAA still has its own advantages, and this is where we also, as I mentioned this in the prior video, where things like Fortnite and other basically AI utilifications have been utilized instead. Because if you know the AI is going to work for other various games, like such as say Fortnite and Unreal Engine, you're going to want to use that instead of the PSSR. Although that does take away from the PS5 Pro's like basically inept technology, because I'm sure the PSSR is integrated with the PS5 Pro as best as it possibly can. It kind of turns into like, do you want to have this shimmering issue and these weird lighting effects that can still be fixed and are in the process of being fixed depending on the company, or just want to go utilize your own AI and upscaler that already works as well. Basically saying, so for example, like their own TAA had its advantages where it's substantially faster for a start. Plus, the team's own TAA is custom tailored for denoising the specific type of output this engine generates. Basically saying that the PSSR is not fully customized to go and fix these noise outputs, like having these random dots. It can and has been, it just takes a few extra steps and a little bit more fine tuning, like someone has to go in the kitchen and start cooking on it. They said the PSSR, it seems, works well in anti-aliasing in images, but less so in denoising the flicker created by the game's shadows, variable rate shading, and especially its SSR. Basically saying like for games that say like have good game shadows, it doesn't necessarily know how to differentiate, as I've kind of mentioned in prior videos, between like maybe like a light reflectatory coming from like random various lighting effects or ray tracing or from the sun, or just maybe they're trying to go add like actual proper details and say like a bottle in like the door, as you guys had saw from the Alan Wake example, which is a little bit of a problem because once again, it's like you have to fine tune it. But the one big thing though is that apparently it's still working well, and on top of that, it is a fixable thing. Basically saying that people can test it, and they have been testing it with these big game developments, and they've had a chance to make it work. Saying thankfully the PSSR still works well in most scenes with the software-based variable rate shading in place. For every group of pixels, the game can render at full, half, or a third, or a quarter resolution. Edges and hard points in geometry are rendered at full res, for example. A form of full-vetted rendering is in place here too, putting a priority on details of the screen center, while there is a fall-off in quality towards the edges or flatter, simpler surfaces. The VSR only just made the cut 5 days before the Black Ops 6 released, I'm told, and it was ultimately does help squeeze out the best results from each frame while boosting performance. So overall, the high level is that the PS5 Pro and the PSSR is still good. Like it still helps out the technology, but some of these games, such as say Call of Duty, just don't have the proper implementation for it yet, and may even want to opt in their own AI. Now, this is kind of a good thing because it kind of shows that this potentially issue can be solved. They know how to fix it, they know how to fine tune it, and there is easy fixes for it. So that means that any future PS5 Pro game has a chance to be fixed. And as well, it also means we have the technology behind it. If people have the spare time before the game comes out, we'll probably like stop having day one issues, or ideally have maybe like a few days issues and kind of fine tune even better. Because the whole idea behind the AI is that it will get better with time too as well. So this is kind of a good news. Like I want to go kind of break this down a little bit more because people may have missed it on the prior video from the title or the topic, because there was other good stuff out there included, such as like the Black Ops game running better on the Pro. But I just want to go and highlight the fact that the Pssr technology is nifty, is good, can be fixed, will be better over time, and the more AI it actually utilizes, the better, as it has a chance to machine learn more. And I do think the fact that more of these developers can kind of fix and fine tune these weird small issues means that, let's say, the next Call of Duty probably won't have them because they already know how to fix it, or the next EA game, or next Ubisoft game, next PlayStation game, etc. And I do think in the long term this is very good for the PlayStation 5 Pro. So give me your thoughts and comments on everything down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed here. Thank you guys so much for being subscribed. Please subscribe to the second YouTube account, follow the Twitters and the Twitch down below, and of course put the notifications on here in case we do have a little bit more sporadic uploads these next few weeks or so, as we're taking a mini quote-unquote break. And of course as well, all the affiliate links are down below, and I appreciate y'all for watching.